right, so get ready, because today we're taking a deep dive into all things gratitude, but not like the kind of gratitude you see on a cheesy Hallmark card, you know?
Yeah.
We're going to go way deeper than that. We're going to explore how, like, just intentionally focusing on the positive, it can actually change how you see things, maybe even your reality.
It's a really interesting concept. We're really lucky because we have a very special source that can kind of be our guide here. It's this list of 200 gratitude statements, and they're all specifically designed for a law of attraction journal.
Wow, 200 statements. I mean, I feel like there's only so many things a person can actually be grateful for, right? But this list, yeah, it gets really specific, like super specific. One of the statements is, I am thankful for the financial freedom to pursue my dreams. But then there's another one that's like, I'm grateful for the coziness of a rainy day.
Yeah, it might seem a little strange at first, but that's actually a really important part of the law of attraction philosophy. It's not just about like saying you're grateful for good things generally. It's about like really feeling the gratitude for specific things that happen, even if they seem totally ordinary, like a rainy day.
So you're saying, like, by really focusing on these like tiny details, you're somehow making them more real in your life.
Yeah, that's definitely a part of it. The law of attraction basically says that positive thoughts bring you positive experiences. So if you like actively focus on what you're grateful for, you can like shift your energy, and that helps you attract more good things into your life.
Okay, I think I'm starting to understand this a little more. But why 200 statements? Wouldn't it just be enough to just have that general feeling of gratitude? Like, why does it have to be so specific?
Well, one of the good things about having such a huge variety of statements like this is that it helps you break out of your usual ways of thinking. Like,
Mhm.
think about it. Most people, they just have a few things that they're always grateful for, like family or their health. But this list, it makes you consider things you might never think about otherwise.
Like a gratitude scavenger hunt.
Exactly.
Mhm.
Plus, this list is organized into different categories, which is really helpful. It helps you think about gratitude in all the different parts of your life, like your personal life, your health, your relationships, even your connection to the entire universe.
Okay, so let's actually dive into some of these categories and see what kind of statements stand out. How about we start with personal life?
Yeah, sounds good. It's a good starting point because it's often like the foundation for everything else in your life.
True. So looking at this list, under the personal life category, some of them are pretty basic, like I'm grateful for the love and support of my family, or I appreciate my unique talents and abilities. But even those simple statements can be pretty powerful, right?
Absolutely. They might seem really basic, but they actually go to the very heart of what makes us feel fulfilled and like grounded. Just acknowledging the people who support you and appreciating your own strengths, it's a really good way to start your day.
It's like giving yourself a little pep talk before you even get out of bed.
Exactly. And then there are other statements that are a bit more thoughtful, like, I'm thankful for my strength in overcoming challenges. Everyone faces tough times. But this statement makes you focus on how strong you are instead of feeling like a victim. You're acknowledging that you can grow and get through things.
That's such an important point. It's not about ignoring the hard stuff.
Sure.
It's about knowing you have the power to get through it.
Okay, so what's the next category that really jumps out at you?
Let's talk about health and well-being. This one is all about appreciating your physical body and your mental state. All right, let's see. Oh, okay, this one is great. I am grateful for my energy and vitality. I appreciate the joy that exercise brings me. These are really speaking to me. It's so easy to forget how important your health is, especially when you're super busy.
I know exactly what you mean. It's like you don't even realize how much you need your body until something goes wrong.
Exactly. And that's why I think these statements are so important. They remind you to be grateful for the most basic things. Being able to move around easily, having energy to do the things you love, even just feeling good about yourself in your own body.
And you know what? Even if you're not feeling your best, there are still things to be grateful for. Like maybe you're thankful for a good night's sleep, or just the ability to rest and let your body heal.
Yeah, it's about looking for those little bits of positivity, even when things are kind of tough. And that reminds me of another statement in the health and well-being category. I appreciate the delicious food that nourishes my body. Even something as simple as enjoying a meal. That can be a powerful way to show gratitude.
So true. Okay, so we've talked about personal life and health. How about we shift gears and talk about relationships?
Sounds good. Relationships.
Mm.
Okay, let's see. I am grateful for my loving partner. I appreciate the kindness of strangers. There's even one that says, I am thankful for the lessons I learned from others.
This category covers so much. Wow.
It does. And it shows just how important connections are for us as human beings, no matter who it's with, romantic partners, family, friends, or even people you just meet briefly.
Hmm.
Relationships make our lives richer in so many ways.
One that really stands out to me is I'm grateful for the forgiveness and understanding I receive. I mean, everybody makes mistakes sometimes. So to have people in your life who are willing to give you another chance, that's a true gift.
It is. And then there's the flip side of that. I appreciate the deep conversations I have with loved ones. This one reminds us that it's so important to have connections where you can really talk. Sharing your thoughts and feelings with people you trust, it brings a lot of joy. Okay, so we've covered personal life, health, and relationships. Let's move on to something that can be a little trickier. Material abundance.
Yeah, it can be. But it's important to remember that material abundance doesn't necessarily mean having a ton of stuff. It's more about appreciating what you do have and thinking about how those things make your life better.
Okay, so it's not about being greedy or obsessed with things. It's about recognizing what you have and how it supports you.
Exactly.
Some of the statements in this category are things like, I am thankful for the money that flows into my life. I am grateful for the possessions that bring me comfort. I appreciate my reliable transportation. I can see how these could be hard for some people to accept, especially if they're having a hard time financially.
Oh, absolutely. But you have to remember, the law of attraction is all about changing how you think. Even if you don't have as much money as you'd like, there are still things to be grateful for. Maybe you're thankful for having a roof over your head, or a warm bed to sleep in, or having a job that lets you take care of yourself and your family.
It's about focusing on what you do have instead of what you don't.
Exactly. And even if you are financially comfortable, these statements can still be a good reminder to appreciate things we take for granted, like having a nice place to live or a reliable car. They make our lives easier, so it's good to acknowledge that.
Okay, I see how this works. It's like you're teaching your brain to look for the positive in every situation, no matter what. Are there any other categories that really stand out to you?
Nature is a great one. I mean, with how fast-paced life is these days, it's easy to forget about the natural world. But these statements make you actually pause and appreciate all the beauty around you.
Let's see. I am grateful for the warmth of the sun. I appreciate the beauty of the stars at night. These are so beautiful. It's like a reminder to just stop for a minute, take a breath, and appreciate everything.
Yeah, and even if you live in a city, you can still connect with nature. Maybe you're thankful for that little park near your home or that one tree you always see on your way to work. It's about those little bits of nature that make you feel calm.
And even something as simple as fresh air can be something to be grateful for.
Absolutely. So we've covered quite a bit of ground here. How about we take a little break and then come back to explore some more of these categories? Okay, so let's jump back into this incredible list of gratitude statements. One category that I find really fascinating is spiritual growth. I know this one might not be for everyone, but for people who are into spirituality, these statements can be really powerful.
Yeah, I'm curious about this one too. What kind of statements are we talking about here?
Well, there are statements like, I'm thankful for my connection to the universe, or I appreciate the divine timing in my life. They all kind of reflect this idea that there's something bigger than us out there, whether it's like a higher power or the universe itself, or even just the fact that everything is connected.
I can see how those statements could be really comforting, especially when you're going through tough times. It's like acknowledging that you're not alone.
Exactly. And for some people, it can even give them strength and help them be more resilient. There's this one statement that says, I appreciate the signs and synchronicities around me. Have you ever had those moments where it feels like the universe is trying to tell you something? Or like it's guiding you in a specific direction?
Oh, totally. Those moments are so weird and amazing at the same time. I think a lot of people have those experiences. They just might not know how to talk about them.
That's a great point. And I think that's one of the things that makes these gratitude statements so cool. They give us a way to understand and talk about those feelings of connection and purpose.
Okay, so we've talked about connecting to something bigger than ourselves. But what about connecting with what's going on inside of us, like our emotions?
Right. That's where the emotional well-being category comes in. This one's all about recognizing and appreciating all the different emotions we feel as humans.
Okay, let's see. I'm grateful for the happiness I feel every day. I appreciate my ability to forgive myself and others. I'm thankful for the courage to face my fears. Whoa, these are really deep.
They are. And I think it's important to remember that emotional well-being isn't just about feeling happy all the time. It's also about acknowledging those harder emotions, like when you're sad or angry or scared.
This one really stood out to me. I'm grateful for my ability to find silver linings. Life is full of ups and downs, that's for sure. But if you can learn to find something good even when things are hard, that can really change everything.
It's true. It's all about shifting your perspective
Yeah.
and focusing on what you can actually control, even when everything feels chaotic.
It's funny because sometimes the things we resist the most can actually end up being the biggest opportunities for growth. Like let's say you're going through a job change. It might feel scary and uncertain,
Mm.
but it could end up leading you to something way better, something you actually love.
That's a perfect example. It's about trusting the journey and knowing that even the hard times, they're leading you to where you need to be. Speaking of journeys, let's talk about the life's experiences category.
Okay, that sounds pretty broad. What kind of statements are in that one?
Well, there's some like, I'm grateful for the lessons I've learned through challenges, and I'm grateful for the chance to grow from past mistakes. It's about accepting all of the experiences we have as humans, the good and the bad, and recognizing that they're all part of something bigger.
It's like that saying, every experience is a teacher. We don't always enjoy the lesson, but they make us who we are.
Exactly. And then there are statements that focus on the positive side of things, like, I appreciate the spontaneity that makes life exciting. It's a good reminder to embrace those unexpected moments. They add a little spice to life.
I love that. We get so stuck in our routines that sometimes we forget to leave room for a little adventure.
It's all about finding that balance, structure and spontaneity.
Speaking of balance, it's interesting how some of these categories seem to connect to each other. Like, there's a statement in the life's experiences category says, I'm grateful for the opportunities I have to learn and grow. And that connects really well with the education and knowledge category, don't you think?
Absolutely. It's all connected in the end. We can learn and grow from so many things. Formal education, life experiences, even just talking to people.
Yeah, so in the education and knowledge category, there are statements like, I'm grateful for the education I've received. I appreciate the ability to read and write. And I'm thankful for having access to books and information. These are things we usually don't even think about, but they're so crucial for understanding the world around us.
They really are. And it's not just about gaining knowledge, it's also about what you do with it. There's a statement that says, I appreciate the wisdom I gain from life's experiences. It's about taking what you've learned and actually using it to make your life better.
I think that's a really good point. Knowledge is power, sure, but wisdom is knowing how to use that power in the right way.
Exactly. And sometimes wisdom comes from the most unexpected places. Like maybe you learn a valuable lesson from making a mistake or from a really tough situation you had to deal with.
It's about being open to learning from every experience, good or bad.
Okay, let's move on to a category that's all about that inner strength we all have. It's called personal strength.
Okay, let's hear it. I'm grateful for my perseverance in tough situations.
Mm.
I appreciate my ability to stay optimistic in the face of adversity. These are powerful.
I know, right? They remind us that we all have this well of strength inside us, and we can tap into it whenever we need it.
I love that it highlights not just strength, but also adaptability. There's a statement here that says, I'm grateful for my adaptability to change. And in the world today, things are constantly changing. So being able to adapt is so important, not just for survival, but for actually thriving.
Absolutely. It's about being flexible and open to new ways of doing things. It's about seeing change as an opportunity to grow and evolve instead of something to be afraid of.
Okay, next is community and belonging. This one really speaks to our need to connect with others.
It does. Humans are social creatures by nature. Feeling connected to other people is crucial for our well-being.
Let's see. I am thankful for the sense of belonging I feel in my community. I appreciate the compassion I see in others. These just make me feel all warm and fuzzy inside.
Me too. And there's this one, I am grateful for the opportunities I have to give back to my community. It reminds us that we're not just individuals living our own separate lives, we're part of something much bigger. And contributing to that, whether it's volunteering or just being kind to others, it's incredibly rewarding.
It's about recognizing that we're all connected and that what we do can affect the people around us. Okay, we're almost done with the list. What's next?
Let's talk about something that brings a lot of joy to our lives. Creativity and passion. This category is all about acknowledging that spark inside of us, the spark that drives us to create, to express ourselves, and to follow our passions.
All right, let's see. I'm grateful for the ability to express myself through art. I appreciate the inspiration that flows to me effortlessly. Love these.
Mm.
They make me think of those times when you're so focused on something that you totally lose track of time.
Exactly. That's that flow state everyone talks about. It's a beautiful thing. And creativity isn't just about traditional art like painting or music. It can be anything that lights you up and lets you be your true self.
I think a lot of people lose touch with their creative side as they get older. We get caught up in work and responsibilities, and we forget to make time for those things that bring us joy.
It's true. But it's never too late to rediscover that creative spark. And the great thing about creativity is that it can take so many different forms. It doesn't have to be painting or writing. It could be cooking or gardening or even just finding a new way to solve a problem.
It's about finding things that make you feel alive.
Speaking of feeling alive, how about we check out the positive emotions category?
Okay, I'm ready for some positivity. Let's see. I'm grateful for the joy that fills my heart. I appreciate the peace I feel in moments of quiet. I'm grateful for the laughter that lifts my spirits. Just reading these is making me feel lighter.
It's amazing how much power words have. And I think we need to remember that feeling positive emotions, it's not a luxury, it's important for our well-being.
It's like food for the soul.
Yeah,
We need those moments of joy and peace and laughter to thrive.
absolutely. And the more attention we give to those positive emotions, the more we bring them into our lives. It's like a self-fulfilling prophecy.
It's funny. I think a lot of people are actually afraid to feel joy, especially if they've been through a lot of hard times. It's like they're just waiting for something bad to happen. But these statements remind us that it's okay to embrace the good things, even if they don't last forever.
That's such a great point. It's like we're always expecting the worst. What if we started expecting the best instead?
That's a great question. It's like we're rewiring our brains to look for the good instead of the bad.
Okay, let's keep going with the list. How about everyday moments?
Okay, let's see what this one's all about.
I'm thankful for the warmth of my morning coffee. I'm grateful for the feeling of clean, fresh sheets. Haha, these are so true. It's all about those simple little things that make us happy. The things we usually don't even think about.
It's about finding something amazing in the ordinary. It's like saying, thank you, life, for this moment.
I love that. It's so easy to get caught up in the craziness of everyday life that we forget to appreciate the little things. Like there's a statement that says, I appreciate the quiet moments in my day. In this busy world we live in, those moments of peace and quiet are so precious.
They are. It's all about balance.
Yeah.
Balancing activity with rest, just being.
Okay, we only have two more categories to go. What about self-discovery?
This one's all about getting to know yourself on a deeper level and embracing who you truly are.
Okay, let's see. I'm grateful for the time I have to reflect on who I am. I appreciate the personal growth I've achieved. I'm grateful for the courage to face my fears. Wow, these are powerful. I know, right? And self-discovery is a lifelong journey. It's not something you just achieve overnight. It's a process of constantly learning and growing.
This one really spoke to me. I'm grateful for the courage to face my fears. It's like acknowledging that if we want to grow, we have to step outside of our comfort zone and face the things that scare us.
Exactly. Sometimes the things we fear the most are actually the things that can help us transform the most.
It's like that saying, feel the fear and do it anyway.
Exactly. Okay, last but not least, let's talk about future opportunities.
Okay, I'm ready to feel inspired. Let's see. I'm thankful for the exciting opportunities that are coming my way. I appreciate the infinite possibilities that lie ahead. These really put me in a positive mindset.
It's about having hope for the future,
Yeah.
even when things feel uncertain.
It's about believing that good things are going to happen, even if we can't see them yet.
Exactly. And there's something really powerful about saying out loud what you want for the future. It's like planting seeds of possibility.
It's like sending the universe a message. This is what I'm open to receiving.
And speaking of the universe, I think it's important to mention the universal connection category. This one's all about recognizing that we're not just individuals. We're all part of something much bigger.
We talked about that a bit earlier with the spiritual growth category. But how are these statements different?
Well, these statements are specifically about how everything is connected. There's one that says, I'm grateful for the energy that connects us all, and another that says, I appreciate the feeling of oneness with all creation.
Those are so beautiful.
It's about recognizing that we're not alone on this journey called life. We're all connected, and that connection can be a source of strength and support.
It's interesting how these gratitude statements can change our whole perspective. We go from focusing on what we don't have to suddenly realizing all the good things we do have.
That's a great observation. It's like we're training our brains to look for the positive, and that can change our thoughts, our emotions, and even how we act.
So we've gone through a lot of these statements, and it's clear that gratitude is a really powerful thing. It can change our lives in so many ways. But before we wrap things up, I want to talk about one more category that really caught my eye. It's called gratitude for gratitude itself.
Oh, that's a good one. It might sound a little strange, but it's important to be thankful for the act of being grateful. These statements remind us that gratitude is a gift, and the more we practice it, the more we'll have to be grateful for.
Okay, let's see. I'm grateful for the ability to feel gratitude every day. I appreciate the practice of writing down my blessings. It's like we've come full circle, haven't we?
We have. It's all about recognizing that gratitude is something we have to practice. Like anything else, it takes effort and consistency, but the rewards are totally worth it.
It's like we're building a muscle, a gratitude muscle.
Mm-hmm.
And the more we use it, the stronger it gets.
Exactly. And the stronger it gets, the easier it is to find things to be thankful for, even when things are tough.
It's like a positive feedback loop, where gratitude just creates more gratitude.
Exactly. And that's a truly beautiful thing. It's like we're discovering this hidden superpower that we all have. Just by changing what we focus on, we can totally transform our experience.
Yeah, and the best part is you don't need anything special to do it. You don't need special equipment, no special training. You don't have to go to some fancy retreat or meditate on a mountain. It's really just about deciding to look for the good things in life.
Exactly. And the more you practice it, the easier it gets. You'll start to see things you never even noticed before, like a gorgeous sunset or someone being unexpectedly kind.
I used to be so skeptical about this whole gratitude thing. I thought it was just like a fluffy feel-good thing. But the more I learn about it, the more I realize it's actually backed up by science. There's a ton of research now showing how good practicing gratitude is for you, both mentally and physically.
It really is amazing. Studies have shown that it can help reduce stress, improve your sleep, even boost your immune system. It can even make your relationships stronger.
It's like this one simple practice can have a huge positive impact on every part of your life.
And it makes sense when you think about it. If you're focusing on the positive stuff, you're not dwelling on the negative. You're more likely to see the good in people, the good in situations. And that just leads to a more positive outlook on everything.
It's like you're retraining your brain to look for the good stuff instead of getting stuck on the bad.
Exactly. So if you're feeling inspired by all this, I really encourage you to try using some of these gratitude statements in your own life. You can write them in a journal, you can say them out loud, or just think about them.
And you don't have to use this specific list either. You can come up with your own statements based on what you're personally grateful for.
Yeah, the important thing is to make it a regular habit. Even if you just start with a few minutes a day, you might be surprised by how much of a difference it makes.
Like with anything else, the more you do it, the easier it becomes. Until eventually, it's just second nature.
So as we wrap up this deep dive, I want to leave you with a little challenge. What's the one statement from this whole list that really speaks to you right now? What's the part of your life that you're feeling the most grateful for at this moment?
Take some time to really think about it. What is it about yourself, about your experiences, that you want to acknowledge and appreciate even more?
And once you've figured that out, find a way to express that gratitude. Write it down, say it out loud, or just feel it in your heart.
Because even the smallest act of gratitude can have a huge impact on how you feel and how you see the world.
Remember, you have the power to make your life more joyful and fulfilling, and it all starts with a grateful heart.
So go out there and start practicing that gratitude. Until next time, keep diving deep and keep those gratitude journals going.